Welcome back to another MaizePlus video, and today we're going to have a look at customizing what you can put in to a bunker silo. This is attempt number 3 at this video because I have found that it is a little bit sensitive as to how things work, so hopefully this time we will get a good result. I'll talk about some of the things that didn't go so well as we get through the video. What I'm going to try and show you today is storing grain grist in the bunker, a lot like we can store potatoes or sugar beet, and then something a little bit cheaty, and that is using a bunker silo to ferment ourselves some TMR from a bunch of raw ingredients. So let's jump out to the mods folder and have a look at how we do this. Okay, we are in the mods folder. If you're not sure where that is, probably shouldn't be doing this, but it's under My Games, Farming Simulator 22 mods. You do need to have some familiarity with where your mods are, how to open mods, and how to tweak XML a little bit. And we're going to use 7-zip to open up MaizePlus. And we are then going to go into the XML and we're going to open up bunkersilo.xml or MaizePlus bunkersilo.xml. You possibly also want to open up the filltypes.xml because that will make it easier to make sure you get the right names. Within this file, we have two types of behavior. We have the first block where you are putting something in and then fermenting it into something else. So chopped maize going into maize silage, for example. And then down the bottom, we have a section where we're putting something in. We get the same thing back out, but we can just cover it to store it. So yeah, we're going to have a look at both of those. We're going to take the easier example first. So the easier example, sort of, is just setting something to store. This has a couple of additional settings. So the first one is that you don't need to compact it, and the second one is it doesn't need to ferment. So you can play around with that kind of thing. If you were to have a mod which added compost, for example, then there is an example in the comments up here as to how you might set that up. But we're not going to look at that because we don't have that, so please don't ask. Mentioned it, but it's literally in the file. Okay, we have copied the one for potatoes, and I'm just going to jump into the fill types file and find grain grist because that's what I want to demonstrate storing in the pit. So input type is going to be grain grist. That search window. Output type is going to be grain grist. And then we have before the switch limit. So this is what you put in to get things going, and you need at least 4,000 liters. And then after the switch limit, in this case, is going to be grain grist as well. And then we have no compaction and no fermenting. So, and then this is the one where things have gone a little bit screwy. We're going to attempt to use the bunker silo to make some TMR. I have tried a number of options for this, and they all work, but they work in different ways. I have also tried pig food, and I didn't have much success with that. There were some ingredients that it would not let me put in. So we're going to go with TMR. We are going to start our TMR with some TMR, and we're going to output TMR. So that might seem a little bit strange, but it gives you the nicest behavior I've found so far. So basically, to make TMR in a bunker silo, you're going to need to start with 4,000 liters of TMR, however you get that. Okay. And then before the switch limit, we want it to be TMR. So this one is base game TMR. You might want to do forage 2, forage 3, forage 4, and forage 5. So that's the 6 different types of TMR. I think there are 6 that you can mix in a mixer wagon. So any TMR that you've got mixed, you can, yeah, be up to forage 5. Cool. That you can use to start this off. We're going to put those in the after as well, because that means you can then add the forage back in. We've then got the ingredients for grass silage here. We're going to add the ingredients for maize silage. We're going to add some of the ingredients from whole crop silage. And maybe we'll add some brewer's grain. Yeah, pick what you want. I found that some fill types do work, some fill types don't work. I have not been and asked why, because I haven't yet. The team are busy, so we're going to save that. We're going to close the one that's in the background. We're going to close this, and we're going to update the archive and reload the game. Back in the game, and before we get started, I just want to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members for supporting the channel. How many times can I say channel? Particularly whilst I've been doing things on the slightly ropey Dell laptop. We now have the PC Specialist laptop back after about 2 months. They had to order a new motherboard from China, which seemed to take forever. Once it arrived, the service was actually really good. They got it installed and shipped out within a day. And in the process of doing that, they seem to have upgraded me from a 3070 to a 3080 graphics card, which means no more Ring of Death. We are at 400% view distance, which is very nice. So, trailer full of grain mix. Let's back up into the pit and we will see what happens. And can we tip in here? So if I back in far enough, you'll see on the F1 menu that it's registering grain grist as the fill type. Although this was put as not needing compacting, you may have to do a very token amount to get it to jump to 100%, and I mean a very token amount. You can see it's just switching between 0 and 100%. Just back, there we go, 100%. I just back the trailer in to make sure, and then we can cover this, and it doesn't need to ferment, so it's instantly 100%. You can then leave it covered until you need it, or just hit the R key to uncover it. So let's try now and make some TMR. I'm hoping that third time is a charm. The other 2 times have worked, but I wasn't happy with the video result that came out, so let's try it again. So we're going to start with some TMR, and it helps if you actually put it in the trailer. Yes, I know it's a bit weird that we're going to ferment TMR into TMR, but I found that this has given me the best visual effect and result. If you want to try something different, feel free. I have tried straw as a start off, I have tried hay as a start off, and I have tried TMR, and I have found that TMR is the best option for giving a nice result. So that's set us up. Let's chuck some whole crop in, shall we? So this is basically chaff. And that's going to go in. It's going to stay looking like TMR now. And that's kind of why picking your starting one is important. You may have noticed that if you tip hay on the floor from a trailer, you get a heck of a lot of volume for not many litres, if that makes sense. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. That was attempt number 2 at making this video. Attempt number 1 was actually using forage or TMR like I'm using now, but yeah, I decided I didn't want to do that initially, and then I've changed my mind again. I did, in my testing, I used straw, but that didn't work brilliantly either. But now did I include straw? I didn't include straw this time. So I've recorded this so many times that you can put straw in. I have used straw in one of my examples. There we go. We can put maize in. I'm just trying to even the pit up just a little bit because it's not very well balanced at the moment. There we go. So yeah, pretty much anything that you've put in the list, you should hopefully be able to tip in. As I said, I have found some things won't tip in to the pit. I don't know whether that's hard coded into the game or not, but if let's go for the beat cut. Now, and if you've got to make a lot of TMR, because let's face it, cows with MaizePlus eat a lot of TMR, maybe you could do it this way. It's an option. Maybe you could get your trailer stuck. It's also an option. Come on, there we go. So yeah, we are now going to ferment that. Let's say I found using TMR as the start is the best visual way of getting this to work. You probably want a leveler for this, but I've got the quad track and a Weber silage compactor. It is my favorite way of compacting silage because it works really quickly when it's actually touching the silage. I'm going to get this compacted. I will be back with you. Almost done with the compaction. I ended up getting a vent with a leveler to help out because it was a bit of a mess how I had tipped it. But I do think that maybe if you're doing huge scale farming with MaizePlus, maybe this is the way you want to make your TMR, in some big bunker silos. Yeah, we can cover that now and let it ferment, and we will be good in terms of having stuff to feed our cows. As I say, I tried pig food. I had very mixed results with that. I don't know if that's MaizePlus or base game limiting what I can tip into the bunker silo, because you're then getting into some things that you really wouldn't normally tip into a bunker. But there we go. Our TMR has turned into TMR. Yes, I know. But yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I say MaizePlus is designed for you to customize it. Don't be afraid of attempting to customize it. It's set up that way. That's why this file exists, so you can choose what you want to put in to a bunker silo to make things. And as more crops and fill types come in from different places, then you could add those too. You know, have fun with it and experiment. You're very unlikely to break things. Set up a little test save like this, have a play. Anyway, I am going to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button. We do not smash like buttons here. If you smash the like button, you have to buy me a coffee. The link for that is below. Comments or questions, then stick those below. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and I will catch you next time.